What if the smallest light could defeat the darkest night? An 18-year-old boy named Rohan believed he needed great power to change the world. But one evening, a wise old man handed him a tiny lantern. And that simple gift changed his life forever. Every day, he watched people struggle with their own problems. Some were lonely, some were poor. Others had simply lost hope. The more he looked around, the more powerless he felt. He often whispered to himself, "I'm just one person. What difference can I possibly make?" One cold evening, as darkness slowly covered the village, Rohan noticed an old man walking quietly along the road. In his hand was a small lantern. It wasn't bright. It wasn't magical. Yet it lit every step before him. Curious, Rohan walked over and asked, "Grandfather, how can such a tiny lantern help in so much darkness?" The old man smiled gently. "Come with me." Together, they walked along a narrow mountain path. The lantern illuminated only a few steps ahead. Beyond that, everything remained dark. After a while, Rohan looked ahead and said, "But we still can't see where the road ends." The old man stopped walking. He looked at Rohan and said, "You don't need to see the whole journey, my son. You only need enough light for the next step." Those simple words echoed deep inside Rohan's heart. The next morning, instead of waiting to do something extraordinary, he decided to do one small act of kindness. He helped an elderly woman carry heavy buckets of water to her home. She thanked him with a warm smile. Later that same day, the elderly woman helped a struggling neighbor repair his fence. The neighbor, grateful for the help, shared fresh vegetables with another family. One small act became another, and then another. Days turned into weeks. Slowly, the village began to change. Neighbors greeted each other with smiles. Children laughed in the streets again. People stopped waiting for someone else to make things better. Instead, they became the change themselves. One peaceful evening, Rohan met the wise old man once again. The old man lifted the lantern and asked, "Do you understand now?" Rohan smiled. Yes. This lantern was never about light. It was about taking the first step. The old man nodded proudly. Never underestimate one act of kindness. Every great change begins with one person who chooses to act. Years passed. People remembered Rohan. Not because he became the richest man in the village, not because he was the strongest, but because he inspired an entire community to believe that even the smallest light can overcome the darkest night. And finally, Rohan understood the greatest lesson of all. The brightest lantern was never the one in the old man's hand. It was the light growing inside his own heart. Never wait for the perfect moment to make a difference. One kind act, one brave step, one caring heart can inspire countless others and light up the world.